Thanks, Katie. Twin sisters are getting the credit for saving a 77-year-old Collier County woman's life from a flight from Boston to Fort Myers earlier this month.
This is really an incredible story. Now, much of it is still a blur for this Naples woman as she talked with our Fox 4's Elise Chingari today. And Elise, she is grateful to be alive and, of course, credits these two twin sisters for stepping in right at the perfect moment.
Absolutely. I'm so happy to share Pat Dugan's story. She tells me she's just so grateful that these two twin sisters that she hasn't even seen since.
Wow.
But she's glad that they jumped into action as soon as that flight attendant aboard that JetBlue flight on August 1st requested for help from anyone on board who had a medical background. Here's Pat's story.
They landed the plane. They landed with me in the aisle.
Pat Dugan tells me she was on board.
This one just says, to Boston to RSW.
A flight from Boston to Fort Myers after visiting 3 of her sons when 45 minutes prior to landing here in Fort Myers.
I passed right out. Of course, right on the toilet, but
she goes on to say a lot of it was a blur, but that she was rushed to Gulf Coast Medical Center after landing.
I learned later when I heard things on the news, 2 women saved the life in a diabetic emergency on a flight from Boston to Florida. And that was me. I thought, oh, that's me they're talking about.
She also learned the 2 she credits with saving her life are Nicole Kelly, a traveling nurse, and her sister, Lindsay Byrne, a firefighter and paramedic.
They saved my life.
Pat tells me she is a diabetic, and the day of the flight, she didn't realize her blood sugar was low. She was told she was starting to turn blue before the sisters jumped in to help.
Saw my hand go up and the insulin pump had disconnected. The tubing had disconnected from my waist. And I don't know whether that was when I was falling or later on. No. And I think maybe that's when the ladies realized I had diabetes because they saw the insulin pump.
Her sons were, of course, worried when she didn't call after landing.
Youngest son called the the airline, JetBlue, and they didn't know anything about it. They said, no, there's no medical emergency on the plane because nobody could find me.
Pat tells me she's doing much better today.
I'm grateful to be alive. I really am. They were meant to be there. They're my guardian angels now.
Pat is back home now in Naples. She says she's doing good. She doesn't plan on taking any flights soon. However, she says in about a year, she plans to get back on a flight, maybe to Texas to see her brother. Pat also tells me she has not met the 2 sisters, but she really wants to thank them. Of course, the journalist I have been trying to reach out to those sisters today, and hopefully we can bring Pat and them together somehow, even if it's over a Zoom or a phone call. So hopefully I have an update on that story for you soon. Live in studio, Elise Chingari, Fox 4.